Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Odyssey. It's Jason here, back at you with another video on XRP. So we've got some interesting things looking at the chart. I know the market's been pretty boring for the past couple of days, almost up to a week now. I did say that last week is likely to be the last quiet week before we see an expansive move either to the downside or to the upside, because as you can see with the Bollinger Bands on the screen right now, and this is on the 5 daily time frame, we have compression. We have compression of the upper line as well as the lower line, which if you look back in history and we see what we've done previously, we saw an expansion to the upside, and this was a huge move around 500 to 600%. Are we going to see something similar happen this time? We'll have to see over the next few weeks, months, to see how that's going to play out. What I should note here, though, is that we are finding quite nice support on this blue level, which is telling me, since we have found this 4 times now, this is adding a bit more confluence to the idea that this could lead us into an expansion to the upside, just because we're consolidating above it, giving us a bullish edge. This is on the 5 daily time frame, so this isn't going to be happening tomorrow. It's not going to be happening immediately. This is because it is very difficult to time these sorts of things. Although we have significant compression here, we had significant compression the last time, which started in the 12th of October, and that continued into November, so it can last some time. We've started this where it really got compressed on the 6th of May, but we've slowly been getting even more compressed. So at this point, until we start leveling out, then we'll have to see where price is going to go thereafter. But finding support above this blue line is promising for a bullish continuation. If we jump into a shorter time frame and we can see how the market is performing, we don't need our Bollinger Bands here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get up our fib levels just to see how the market has been responding to these levels, as we've been tracking it for some time now. And you can see that we have lost the 50 level now. This was around 2.33, and we have dipped our heads below it, potentially putting in the target for the 0382, where we could find some support, and that's at 2.14. That would be the next level, I would say, if we are to continue this trend to the downside. We are in what looks like, and I was talking about this in my previous video, it looks like we are forming some kind of bullish wedge or descending wedge, falling wedge, however you would like to call it. And this is a continuation pattern from a move that happened from this low here. And you can see that we've just been climbing the levels with these higher highs and higher lows. Is this going to be another higher low where we're going to see a breakout to the upside if we can confirm support above this blue line? Potentially, and that will take us back up to 2.6 where we topped out essentially. This does look bullish if you ask me. It does look like a very corrective move. It looks similar to the kind of moves that we were seeing back here, where we have this cascading staircase to the downside, and you can see these patterns playing out. Even prior here, there's quite a few of them where they are just these falling wedge patterns, and they have a probability to the upside in their favor. So that could potentially happen. Obviously, the market hasn't changed on a macro level. All we've seen is noise. So long as we are above this $60 level, or if we want to work level by level here, then the next level I'll be looking at is that 2.1 level. I would say that if we can find support on that, we're good, and that falls in line with other areas of confluence, because if you look here, that was a significant area where we had these 3 major touch points. Also this region as well, and I'll make these circles nice and big so you can see them. We don't need these blue ones anymore. Let's just get rid of these so we can clean up the charts a little bit. You can see that this level has been a major point of support. So it's not unlikely if we do come down here, that we would find support there. It is probably more likely, given the fact that's what we've done before. And we're just retracing to those levels before continuing the larger move, which reoccurred if we are taking the argument that this 1.6 level is where we started a reversal to the upside. And the reason why I say that, if we just get up the RSI now, you can see that we were tracking this trend to the upside, this channel that was forming. And you can see that we've actually broken it to the downside. Now, this isn't great, so to speak. This isn't great. However, because the charts are printing a kind of falling wedge pattern, and if you look at the price action as well as the RSI, you can see that we're actually putting in some bullish divergence. We have what is a lower low. Let me just remove this lower trend line here, and we can remove that as well. You can see that we have this lower low and it's ever so slightly lower. Actually, let me just confirm that for a second. Is that lower, or is my mind going crazy here? Is that ever so? It's about the same level. Okay, we will have to see whether this comes lower, but the price action remains above this low. Because if that is the case, then that would be bullish divergence. It's not in just yet. It does look slightly lower, but, or maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe it's not. I think I'm going crazy, guys. Anyway, forget that. Forget all of that. But that's just a possibility. If the oscillator or the RSI comes lower than the price action, then that would be bullish divergence. We are not there yet, though. However, we have broken trend from this channel that we were tracking, which isn't a great look because it is breaking a trend on the RSI. However, we haven't broken the trend in the price action. Now, is there the possibility that we could be heading a lot lower, and that we have just printed? Now, let me just clean this up. I'm going to get rid of everything here so that we can really see, because we have to consider both scenarios here. Let's have a look. Let me get my brush up. So we had this high that we set. Is this high that we printed back in the 12th of May just another lower high before heading back down and setting a lower low? That is the question. And I suppose the way that we can analyze that argument to see whether it's true or not is just to see how the market is responding to the breakout of this trend that occurred some time ago. So if we look at this trend line, because this was a breakout from a major downtrend that we'd been tracking. And so when we're looking at that particular trend, you can see that we have broken it to the upside and we are confirming support above it, which is a bullish indication for price action to continue to the upside. However, we also have to take into consideration that this may well be a lower high than the previous, which is a contradicting argument. Now, does this have greater power over the breakout from this downtrend? That is what we have to consider, because arguably it doesn't, given the fact that we haven't violated any of this breakout yet. We're actually confirming it as support rather than breaking down and confirming it as resistance. So unless we lose this line, then there is nothing to be alarmed about just yet. But if we do start to lose this trend line, then that is building confidence to the idea that this high that we've put in may well be a lower high, and we're going to see price action continue to the downside. But we'll have to see what the market does from here and onwards for the next couple of weeks or so. But we are leading into June, which we are predicting is going to be a much more favorable month for crypto, including XRP. So if you do enjoy these updates that I bring to you, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for future videos. Do put into the comment section anything that you would like me to cover, whether it's ADA, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other cryptos that you have in mind. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.